Hello everyone, my name's Kerry Graham from Collaboration for Impact. Thank you for the opportunity to join with you today by video. I would have much preferred to have been with you in person, to have been welcomed to the Blue Mountains by Darug and Gundungurra people, to have joined with Minister Hazard in really acknowledging the extraordinary work of the Stronger Family Alliance and the importance of this evaluation report, to have met and congratulated in person members of the Stronger Family Alliance and their guests, and of course to have spent time with the families and children of the Blue Mountains that the Alliance seeks to serve. Collaboration for Impact is a small non-profit that has grown rapidly in the last couple of years in response to demand from communities who want to understand how they work better together to achieve large-scale impact. And really, we have seen the increase in that demand triggered by an article published in 2011 in the Stanford Social Innovation Review called Collective Impact by John Kania and Mark Kramer. Now, that article really resonated in Australian communities, and we saw evidence of that in 2012 when Collaboration for Impact ran the first Collective Impact conference to a sellout audience, and since then that demand has grown year on year, to the point now that in 2016 we've just concluded a review of communities working this way with the Department of Social Services, and we estimate there are around 84 communities intentionally applying a collective impact lens to their work of collaboration. Now, what this means is that across the country, communities are realising that the layering of program on program on program into a community needs rethinking, that often these programs are quite disconnected from each other and often still quite disconnected from the community themselves. And there's been a great calling for programs to be more connected, more integrated, and brought closer to community needs. But the quite extraordinary thing about collective impact is that it's brought a new narrative that says, while programs are essential to creating the change we seek, that they are not actually sufficient. That in order to create large-scale social impact, we need to think beyond programs into systems change, to align the leadership, the resources, and the effort of many towards an agreed agenda for change in our communities. Now, when we look to how this movement has grown considerably in Canada and the US, we really see the importance of lighthouse communities, those communities that are early adopters and pioneers of this way of working, those that, while we know every community's path is different, they show us a pathway towards large-scale impact, and they really represent the promise of collective impact. Now, in Australia, the Stronger Family Alliance is absolutely a lighthouse community. Of the 84 or so communities mobilising this way, the Stronger Family Alliance is one of the most developed and has been in operation for probably one of the longest times. Now, at Collaboration for Impact, we see the Stronger Family Alliance as a lighthouse community for 5 key reasons. The first is leadership. Now, the Alliance showed extraordinary leadership more than 10 years ago in turning to this way of working. They were beyond an early adopter. They were really one of the first adopters, where they knew instinctively and inherently that working better together across sectors would achieve what they desired, which was better outcomes for all children. But they also showed leadership in another way, which was the Blue Mountains is not what we would say in Australia is a postcode of disadvantage, the types of communities that often have greater tension and pressure for collaboration. The Stronger Family Alliance really showed us that this way of working applies to any community and that it is possible in any community to lift outcomes for children. The second reason why we see the Alliance as a lighthouse community is that right from the start, the focus and the narrative was beyond programs. They did a lot of work to shift programs closer to the evidence-based, closer to community through co-design and closer to each other through integration. But they also had a set of strategies and activities that were around making a community a healthy environment for a child to thrive. This was around connecting citizens to citizens, citizens to businesses, and making raising children the work of a village. The third reason why the Stronger Family Alliance is a lighthouse community is they had a strong focus on learning. They realised early that keeping people at the collaborative table meant providing learning opportunities that couldn't be achieved elsewhere. They brought in the best thinkers from around the country and often internationally to say, help us understand how we can contextualise your thinking here. They created high value proposition learning that meant leaders in the community were better leaders with greater data and more insights, but they knew how, they worked overtime to learn how to collaborate better together. And the fourth reason is really the length of time that the Stronger Family Alliance has been going. And from the way we see it, over the last 10 years, the Alliance has gone through a significant social innovation loop of exploring deeply the context facing children and their families, of testing and trying what might work locally, to the point of developing an agreed agenda for change in the Child and Family Plan, and then spending year on year this data-driven continual improvement, test and try approach to achieving population level change. Now, 10 years on, the Alliance has very astutely realised that the context is changing for families. Families have grown up, they now have young people who, and their context is changing too. So they are taking the learnings from the first 10 years and understanding what they need to take forward, while at the same time opening out again to say, what do we need to explore about helping young people to thrive? And understanding context, doing testing and trying before agreeing again on their second significant agenda for change, which will be the Child and Young People's Plan. The fifth reason why the Stronger Family Alliance is a lighthouse community is the reason we're here today. A commitment to documenting their learnings and their journey over time and disseminating that to the field for their own benefit of continually improving their practice, understanding what's working, but also to show other communities, 84 or more across the country, who are turning to work this way, about how it works here in this place. And so that other communities can take learnings to say what might apply in our place. It is through this dissemination that the Stronger Family Alliance continues to exhibit leadership. I'm incredibly grateful for the work that they're doing around expanding and promoting the field of collective impact and collaboration, and I really acknowledge their leadership in this report and wish you all well in launching it today.